How you doing? Mr. DJ's back. Go back to my 60s YouTube channel and spend some more time on Billboard's Hot 100. So many jams on this thing of December 27th, 1969. And coming in at number 72, I do believe. Number 72 that week. No, actually, bear with me now. I'll bring it up. 72, that's right. Up from 85 the previous week. It was moving on up pretty fast. Tonight, I'll Say a Prayer by Edie Gorme. Laid back record. Went up to number 45 on Billboard Top 100. A little bit too easy listening, a little bit too easy going for Top 40 radio. Kind of hard. And also, it harkens back really to the 50s and 40s. She started out singing in the 50s. Her first hit record was in the early 50s. First recording was back in the early 50s. Edie Gorme. Kind of hard to fit this song besides Steam, Kiss 'Em Goodbye, or CCR's Fortunate Son, Down on the Corner. But here it is, Edie Gorme. Tonight, I'll Say a Prayer. It was produced and arranged by a guy named Don Costa. Don Costa, he was the A&R man, arranger, producer at the ABC Paramount Records. Late 50s, early 60s when he discovered Paul Anka. That was his first big discovery was Paul Anka. A few years later, he discovered another singer. This singer was performing at a nightclub in Hollywood. It was called PJ's. His name, Trini Lopez. Did that really upbeat version. If I had a hammer, the Trini Lopez, produced by Don Costa. He produced it. Don Costa producing hit records earlier. His association with Edie Gorme and Steve Lawrence going back to the late 50s. He produced Pretty Blue Eyes by Steve Lawrence. Footsteps by Steve Lawrence. Those delightful tunes that Steve Lawrence was putting out in the late 50s produced by Don Costa. Don Costa moved to Los Angeles and he played a big role in resuscitating the career of Lil Anthony and the Imperials. He directed the orchestra on Going Out of My Head, and he produced a follow-up to that, Hurt So Bad, in 1965. His talents was noted by Frank Sinatra, chairman of the board. Chairman of the board of Reprise Records, a label that Frank Sinatra formed. He hired Don Costa as an arranger on one of his albums. The album was called Sinatra and Strains, which came out in 1962, and that began a long association between Don Costa and Frank Sinatra. Well, he produced this record, Edie Gorme. Tonight, I'll Say a Prayer, number 72 on Billboard's Hot 100, December 27th, 1969.